Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
From Boundary to Bear Lake, Fremont to Payette, Oahe to Oneida, there are interesting people, places, and histories in all of Idaho's counties. And Idaho Matters wants to share it with you with stories from all 44 counties that make up the Gem State. Email your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu or use the Talk to Us feature in our app, available on Apple and Android, and tune in each weekday at noon for Idaho Matters.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. On this first day of school in the Boise School District, we've got big news that was revealed last night regarding reading scores among kindergartners in Boise. We also have a story from the Statehouse where lawmakers say they're trying to bring more doctors to the state of Idaho. And of course, there's the weather. It is going to be very hot today. We'll check in with the Weather Service. It is Tuesday, the 12th of August, and away we go. A big day today for thousands of families in Boise, the first day of school. And, coincidentally, the Boise School Board of Trustees was in session last night, and administrators shared some new data on reading skills. In Idaho, it's all about the IRI, the Idaho Reading Indicator, measuring reading abilities of elementary students. And the big news last night concerned kindergartners. Here's Deputy Superintendent Wendy Johnson.
And this type of growth is pretty amazing. In 2019, to 50% of students achieving proficiency, and this is all in kindergarten, in the spring, using the test called the IRI, from 50% to 80%, that is huge celebration. So I thought we should just take a moment and celebrate that.
Reading proficiency for Boise first graders was 69%, 65% in second grade, 71% in third grade. And again, the IRI reading proficiency in Boise kindergarten classes this past spring was 80%. And this morning, those school kids are first graders. At the Statehouse, a new legislative task force is working to solve one of Idaho's long-standing problems, having the lowest number of physicians in the country. James Dawson has more on their first meeting.
Medical education leaders from around the state and the region have repeatedly said they want to increase the number of student seats available to Idaho residents. But they repeatedly say there aren't enough clinics or doctors willing to host medical students for rotations, especially with multiple schools in the area trying to recruit them. Dr. Rex Force is the Health Sciences Dean at Idaho State University.
It's a very crowded, competitive learning environment.
Dr. Mary Baranaga, a dean for the WWAMI program at University of Idaho, says she's also gotten pushback from students about a recent state law penalizing them if they don't return to Idaho to practice.
And many of them were mad, and they said, I was planning on coming back to Idaho anyway, but now, this is making me feel like you're forcing things.
Students who don't practice here for 4 years after residency must pay back their state-subsidized tuition. The task force will issue its recommendations to the legislature before it reconvenes in January. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
In sports, as football fans gain interest and excitement for the upcoming new season, coming in just a few weeks, the all-important preseason Associated Press college football poll is out. Boise State is ranked 25th in the nation. Texas is number 1, Penn State number 2, followed by Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. Boise State opens the season in 16 days on Thursday, August 28th at South Florida in front of a national TV audience on ESPN. Les Collin is over at the National Weather Service office in Boise. Hi, Les.
Good morning, George.
Up top, I want to ask you about a heat advisory. We see that there's a heat advisory in effect for some of our region. Can you walk us through exactly what a heat advisory is?
That's hot, weather that's hot enough to be of concern, but not extreme heat, which would be the next step higher than that, next step worse than that. However, it is going to be uncomfortably hot and dangerously hot if you're not prepared with refuge from the heat and stay hydrated. So you have to be careful.
Exactly. So shade, hydration, checking on people that may be at risk.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's get into the forecast. What can we expect today?
Well, today's going to be the hottest day, as this is the core of the heat will come through here today. It'll be shifting east on Wednesday, cool down just a couple degrees, but we'll notice stronger northwest wind behind or introducing the slightly cooler air. And then on Thursday, it'll cool down another 6 to 10 degrees, which brings it only down to normal.
Okay. For today, are we going to approach triple digits?
It looks like we're going to make about 101 degrees here for a high. Similar value, 102, 103 over in Ontario and Rome, Oregon.
And that kind of heat sticks around for another day?
It's slightly cooler on Wednesday, and that's cool enough to end the heat advisory that we have for today.
Okay, and then a few degrees cooler still for the weekend. That weekend sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the weekend will cool down enough to bring us down close to normal, which would be near 90 now.
Excellent. He is Les Collin, the man with the numbers, and we look forward to talking to him all the time. Les, have a really good Tuesday.
Oh, thanks, George, and you too.
And this morning, we are learning more about a new study from Headwaters Economics and the Federation of American Scientists that highlights the risks of extreme heat in rural areas, as Ray Solomon reports.
Researchers found rural communities are among the most vulnerable to heat. They tend to have more hard-to-cool housing, like mobile homes, and vulnerable populations. And there's a large outdoor workforce that can't escape the heat. Take Wes Vaughn.
I'm out in the field doing some weeding right now, and it's definitely over 95 today. It can get really draining being out here day in, day out when the days are 95 degrees plus.
But Mike Burnett with the Northeast Health Department says rural areas are also resilient in the face of heat because of tight-knit communities.
You know, neighbors helping neighbors, organizations that reach into some of the folks that may be more vulnerable to this.
The report from Headwaters Economics and the Federation of American Scientists says we need more investment in cooling infrastructure.
And that is Ray Solomon from our Mountain West News Bureau. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We will see you back here on Wednesday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.